Now, this is what I want you to do. For all those who are not subscribers to the Shock of the Hour, I need you to email me at priestisaac27@gmail.com, because for a limited time only, I will be offering, listen to this, 2 free weeks of the Shock of the Hour. So if you're not a subscriber to the Shock, of course you've listened to the Shock, but if you're not receiving the Shock of the Hour every evening in your inbox via the email, then you need to contact me and say, Priest Isaac, I would like to get the 2-week subscription. That is the free subscription for the Shock of the Hour. And we will send you, email you each and every evening after the Shock of the Hour, that episode specifically that was recorded. Remember, the Shock of the Hour is a program that comes to you every evening. I'm talking about Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. And of course, as I said, after the program, you get the recording of the program in your inbox, in your email the next day. That is the Shock of the Hour. And of course, it is a monthly subscription of only $50 United States currency. But I am offering you for a limited time 2 weeks subscription free of cost for the Shock of the Hour. And of course, after the 2 strongs or 2 weeks as they call it is expired, it is up to you if you'd like to continue with the Shock of the Hour subscription. So to get 2 whole strongs, 2 whole weeks specifically as they call it, of the Shock of the Hour free, no charge whatsoever, and you could full joy the nightly program that you ain't gonna hear on YouTube and you're not gonna get on Facebook, just definitely contact us, Priest Isaac, PRIESTISAAC 27@gmail.com. Blessed love. And again, we do definitely give thanks, blessed love to each and every one. Of course, you know, the mystic zone, the mystic vibration, Shock of the Hour in full effect. Give thanks for your presence with us. Of course, the Honorable Priest Isaac here with you. Let me just make sure everything is in order here. All right, there you go. There you go. We ain't going to make no mistakes here today. And of course, the Shock of the Hour, give thanks and praises in all ways, in all doings and saying to Kadamawa Haile Selassie I. Oh, what a wonderful Savior is Negus our Lord. So we are very thankful for such mighty presence at this moment. You know, in one of our previous coming forward, you know, we went into the whole aspect of the familia. And I was talking about a situation that took place in the island of St. Lucia, where a young man took his life. We kind of took that conversation and, you know, we went into the whole aspect of the bullying and these things. So recently, the news came out that, I think it was yesterday actually, that, you know, he was a homosexual. I'm not on the ground in St. Lucia as such, so certain things may just go by me, but, you know, obviously, I guess on the ground you would know exactly what's going on. So he was a homosexual, and as a person that has spent quite a bit of time in St. Lucia, for sure, that the homosexual thing is not really something that to me is really hidden that much. I remember one year there was this fella here that they tied to a tree and they shot him. I know the fella. I mean, as I said, they open, they're up and down the place. Well known, some of them are superstars in the community. Yeah, and don't get me wrong, don't get me wrong. I'm not branding St. Lucia as something more than any other place when it comes to that. In fact, it's no worse than anywhere else. No worse than here in Antigua. No worse than anywhere else. I'm just saying because I could relate to the situation in St. Lucia, although I'm not there at the happening of this and exactly who it was and whatever, but I know the culture to some degree, you know what I mean? And to be very honest, with no disrespect to St. Lucia, before they were pushing that stuff like on television hard in the Caribbean, yeah man, that was already going on there in the Helena of the West, which is St. Lucia, like, and certain commercials and so certain prominent gay people would be seen promoted and all them kind of weird vibration. So yeah, I'm just saying all of that to show, you have to have an understanding of at least what you're talking about. But anyway, we took that situation and we brought it into the light of not just the family, but our situation as a people. And if you listen to that program, you could see that, well, I always speak from the heart, but sometimes I speak from the books. When I say the books, the facts and the stats and 1843 and 3000 BC and Carbon 14 says, and that kind of way. But although that conversation also had its stats, because you need the stats, you need the knowledge to get the understanding of what you now know, so you could be wise in your wisdom. So in your wise mind and your understanding, we get the knowledge. And all these words have been construed to sound so funny. But the point is that the family is the main thing here and was the main thing in our discussion. Of course, we took time to explain the effects that has been left on us, really. How we have been genetically, I would say, mind-bended. Our thought pattern, we know the culture, our names and everything else, our religion, our true concept of the Creator, everything has been stolen, whitewashed, brought back to us. There's a story there. We all know the story of Osiris and Isis, Asar, Aset. And the story says that Asar was cut up into 14 pieces. The story also speaks about Anpu, Anubis bringing Asar to life, resurrecting him, pardon me. But there's a very integral part of that story, that episode of the death and resurrection of the Asar character, that we cannot overlook. According to the allegory, his wife Isis, or Aset, came forward. She was the one. Although Anpu or Anubis is known to be the mummifier, the one who wraps the dead body of the Asar and brings him to life with the magical words, pardon me, of the thought, the Tahuti, because he was there as well. It is the Isis, the mother goddess, who not just found, but searched. I want you to understand me good. It was Aset, the mother goddess, that not only found, but searched diligently for the body, the goody, the anatomy of her husband, Asa, or Osiris. And I'm saying that in the sense now that she did not just go looking for the whole. His physical was chopped up into several pieces, and he was scattered. He was scattered across the land. His sacred part was swallowed by a catfish. And she went forward and she found the 13 pieces that were still around, that were not devoured by anything. And when she found them, the pieces of her husband, she put the pieces together again. And as I said, the great mummifier, the Olmec, speaking power of resurrection best, with his tongue sticking out, brought forward, I'm talking of Anubis really, in different levels really, came forth and mummified him and brought him back to life. But how interesting it is that when this great man was in pieces, when this great man was not falling apart, fell apart, it is the enemy that bum rushed him and ambushed him, tricked him, telling you, deceived him, and then sliced him up. Killing him was not enough. They parted his garments for lot. And your flesh is your garment, because you're not the physical alone. You are the spirit within that physical being, that body. Gods are known to put down flesh and pick up other ones. So they ripped his garments in pieces. Yeah. And it is the same way as we describe the crucifixion of the Christ and garments. When you understand the Christ story, according to the Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John, it was the morning after the Sabbath. Came Peter and James to the tomb. Huh? That's not what it says. Oh, pardon me. The morning after, this is Matthew. The morning after the Sabbath, I, Matthew, visited. No, that's not what it says. Although the four stories are different. One says Mary came to the tomb, Mary Magdalene. The next one says Mary and Salome and the other Mary. The next one says a whole band of sisters came to visit the tomb. I mean, the point is, whether literal, spiritual, allegorical, astronomical, the point is that it is the woman, the sisters that were present at the crucifixion of the Messiah and at the resurrection of the God. Even in his death, they had prime interest in him. They were the first to encounter him when he rose from the grave. In fact, as I said, in the other allegory, it was the woman that put him back together. Remember, the sisters were coming with spice and ointment to anoint the dead, you know, man. Listen to how they flex in. The man inside of a tomb. They were coming to look for permission to go in the tomb. What's going on here? The man dead, man. What are you up to? What are you really up to? What are you trying to say? You don't think that they dealt with his body good enough? That you want to come and anoint the dead man? He dead. They come with baskets. Maybe they brought him offerings. It was a whole band of them according to one of the Gospels. Maybe they came with pineapples and I don't know, figs and bananas as an offering. They do that for the Buddha, you know. And come and throw orchids and all sorts of things. They do that in the church, you know. They sacrifice frankincense to the picture on the wall. Don't play around. So don't act as if I'm talking something strange here, as if, oh, Mary Magdalene and Salome would be into that paganism. Nah, this is realism. So obviously, according to the same scriptures, they came with spices. They came to deal with the body. They came to deal with what was left behind. You know, they had so much respect for this man here that even though he's gone, you ain't gonna just have him knocked about. No, you're not gonna use his organs and sell it to the highest bidder. No. Let us check him out. We want to see if they have newspaper stuffed inside of him where his liver was. You know, remember, she took all the body parts. I don't know if I'm going too far here, but I'm talking reality. I kind of carried you on the back street a bit to add an extra point to the discussion. But the reality is, it was the sisters. We're talking about the nature of the woman. It's the nature of the woman I'm talking about today. The sister and sisters acting on their nature came looking for the Messiah, the God figure, even in his death. And if they found anything wrong with him in death, they would put him back together. They say they found the tomb of Tutankhamun. And do you know that if you've ever seen the pictures of the tomb of Tutankhamun earthquake in Europe, if you've ever seen the pictures of the wagons, the golden wagons, and the beds and the chairs and the necklaces, they're all thrown around. The statues on their sides, and I think two of the statues were guarding an entrance, but outside of them, everything was just topsy-turvy, wasn't it? Swords, arrows, you know, everything just, you know. It was a lot of stuff, a lot of gold. A few things in place, but even the chain that we speak about, the sun collar of Tutankhamun, he had more than one chain, but this sun collar was underground in different pieces, the beads all over. This is a serious thing. So the tomb of Tutankhamun, the great King Tut, as some people disrespectfully refer to the man as conscious people. I wonder what's really wrong with us. You know what I mean? I didn't hear no Christian calling Jesus Christ JC. You know what I mean? So I gotta be a little more respectful to the man. What King Tut? What's wrong with you? He used to have a commercial at time with some dogs talking about King Guts. You never see that? King Guts. But the point is, the tomb of Tutankhamun You know, the tomb of Tutankhamun, and I'm not a YouTube seeking for views freak, you know that. But more of you need to go and watch Semenkari. More of you need to go and watch Semenkari. I mean, you know, to be very honest, you know, I feel sometimes we ain't really serious about knowledge. That's why a lot of people, not a lot of people, that's why nobody can move me, you know, man, with talks and chatter and even comments. We ain't serious. Trust me, we ain't no serious nothing. We just like entertainment. We ain't serious about nothing. Nobody can tell me that. You may be serious, but we ain't serious. That's for sure. I'm serious, I know that. But we ain't serious. Okay, I hope you get my point. But the other point I was making is that if one of them sisters, if Mary and Salome and any one of them, and Esther or whoever, the goddesses you want to choose, Ma'at and Isis, if they came into the tomb of Tutankhamun, I'm sure they would have come in with a broom and with a mop, and when Carnival and them killers came in, they would have seen everything shining and in place and everything in order. You know what I'm saying? The point I'm making, it may seem a little far-fetched, but the point I'm making, that's the nature of the woman. That's the nature of the woman. You know what I mean? A sister come and check you, brother. A sister, she don't even have to be your woman or your wife. It could just be a relationship where you're courting. People don't really do too much of that now, you know? Now, people don't do that, bro. Sex comes first. I never see nothing like, well, I shouldn't say I never see, but you know what I mean? A judgment, man. Wow, what a world. But even if a sister was to check you, brother, you know, even if it's somebody you just met, and you know how it is, and she seems to like you, and you seem to like her, and she says, Paul, can I come and pay you a visit? Okay, no problem. And she comes into your little bachelor pad and, you know, sit down for a while and you all speak and, you know, you offer her something to drink and whatever. Okay, and she said, you finished? Yeah, let me wash the dishes. You sure? It's okay. She ain't gonna wash no dishes alone. She washed the dishes. She mopped the floor. You see her wiping down. You're wondering what's going on. And when you're done, you have a brand new kitchen. You know, well, the woman that I know about, especially growing up, I don't know how it is today because things seem to have changed a bit. But the point I'm making is a woman that's working off of her nature. I don't want to say a real woman because I don't want to disrespect no one. Trust me. Some people say I'm too soft when I speak. Like I like to, you know what I mean? I don't want to hurt nobody's feeling. I wonder what they're talking about. Maybe they don't listen to everything. But the point is, I honestly don't want to hurt nobody's feeling. I'm not here to hurt. If you get hurt, well, you just get hurt because I'm flinging arrows. But I'm saying that a woman now, a woman in her nature, that's the woman there. That's exactly how she would operate. That's exactly how she would operate. You know, moving off of the natural vibes within her. The man might have one of his shoes in the corner by the refrigerator. He might have the other shoe maybe on the veranda. She's going to put the shoes where they belong. It's like Isis with the parts of Osiris. She put things together. That's why I said, even if you think it was a little off, if they were to go into the tomb of Tutankhamun with everything thrown about, they would clean the place up. And they wouldn't even put a nugget of gold in the pockets. So Carnival and what's the other murderer? I can't remember. The so-called discoverer. What's his name? Coward Carter. Eh? None of them people here. Robbers, tomb robbers. Them is tomb robbers. If you're related to them, well, sorry for that, but them is tomb robbers. Yeah. Now, remember, it's the family structure I'm talking about here. And I'm not talking ancient history. And I'm not talking biblical history. In that previous program, we highlighted how our enemy, we have an enemy. In war, you must have an enemy. War? We're at war? You didn't know? Oh, sorry. And in one of my upcoming programs, I'm going to show you why most people are not even aware of the fact that we are at war. But we are at war. And in that previous program, we were talking about, for example, the prison situation as it relates to the black man. It's not that black sisters are not in prison, but you know the game. As I said, the wicked can look at you and say, okay, we got 50 million of these niggers here. We want 50% of them in prison. That's it. That's what they do. They sit down and draft up their stats. They want 50% of you in prison. How does the stat look, Ted? We got 52% of the Negroes in prison. Okay, not bad. We were aiming for 50, but 52 is good. Then 20% work. Hold on. You need 10% in the middle class. The real middle class, not the supposed middle class. There's a middle class people feel because they can wear makeup, high heels and work in a bank, they're somehow in this middle class. But if you understand what's at the highest, because we learn to do average, you know, man. So all you have to do is check what's going on in the higher class and then come down and see what's really going on in the lower class. And then somewhere in between there, it's the middle class. Now the so-called lower class, believe me, if we're going to look in this world situation, the global situation, the lower class is some real lower class in the man. The lower class is some real lower class. I'm not going into details. I would change the whole subject. And the upper class is some real upper class. When one human being can have the revenue of a whole nation, you see what's going on. So in between there is the middle class. I don't want to sound disrespectful, brother, but some of you Negroes who think you're in the middle class, trust me, you ain't in no middle class. You way down below. You think you're doing something. And that's to show you how low we think. That's to show you how dumb we are. And numb as well. This is the real slavery going on. Because you feel you drive a car. I don't care what you have. What you have. Oh, I have a Bentley. So what? You feel that means you are in the middle class? That don't mean nothing. You may have more than your brother. So you're boasting on him. But you ain't got more than the other. And as I said, this is not about so-called living comfortably. You've been branded as a middle class. And I'm here to tell you, if you do the economics properly and just average things with a proper mind, you're not in no middle class. What's wrong with us? So they themselves set up the percentage and they know exactly where they want us. And that is exactly what is being played out today. There's nothing you can say against what I am saying. So this is why we highlighted the fact that the drug, the crack, the cocaine epidemic, not only in the inner cities of the United States, but in the world. The drug epidemic. Listen to this one. The rum epidemic. Huh? Like what? You don't know? You think your uncle became a wino by chance? The booze epidemic. Where did all of that start from? A lot of the booze stuff, you know, is just like crack and cocaine. Is to ease the mind, to relieve the tension coming off of the plantation, coming off of the cotton field, coming out of the factory, coming out of the office. It's well set. Man, we are robots, man. We have been made into robots. When to wake up, what to eat. Bacon and eggs. Who taught you that? And toast. How old is that culture? What's wrong with us, man? We are really gone. And we live daily to enforce our enemy's system. That's what I'm saying. So with a family structure that is so mixed up like that, people wake up and disappear from one another until the setting of the sun. Then you come home. Then your wife come home. Then children stroll in. Then you got to go sleep to wake up and disappear again. What kind of structure is that? And we love that. We're successful people, you know. We have made it. Don't worry, we're going to have a 2-week vacation in the next 3 months. We're waiting for the children to go on holiday. Now, wow, man. And you think our ancestors are happy with us? We have become some real, thought we were middle-class slaves. From you have to save up. If you have to save, even if you have to save for a week to take a cruise, you ain't in no middle class. Remember, I take my time and study the economic state of the world, you know. If you have to, listen, brother, don't be playing around with me. It is the way they make us think psychologically. They psychologically make you think you're doing good, so-called doing good. And I mean even in their world. Even in their world. I'm not talking about, oh, you're rich naturally and we have all the diamonds in Africa and all of that. I'm not even talking of that. I'm talking of making money. We ain't nowhere. The kind of dollars we spend in a year, even though it's a lot, they have people that make that in a week. If you were really in middle class, brother, you would be a real threat. That's why some of the middle classers are threats. Look how they dealt with Michael Jackson. Them is what you call almost middle class. Oprah Winfrey, that you love so much, I don't even think that's middle class. I'm serious. What you think I was talking about? You thought you were middle class? You crazy. You just as poor as the next one. I'm telling you. So I'm trying to show you, even though you may say, so what's the subject really? I'm talking about the family still. The family continues. I'm trying to show you what state of mind we really are in. Psychology is very important. The psychological state of a people is extremely important. The family. I was pleading with the brothers the previous time, and give thanks for all the emails I got from that program. Enough respect. I was pleading with the brothers the previous time to pay attention to your children. Even if you're there with them, be there with them. Because we could be there with them and not there with them, you know, man. Be there with them. Observe them. Acknowledge what they do. Acknowledge what they say. Play with them. Let them feel you're their best friend. And I'm not going over all of that right now because we went through that in that previous program. But now what I'm saying is this. The nature of the woman The nature of the woman is not, I don't need no man. That is Satanism. That is Satanism. Listen to me. That's the demon there. That's why in another previous program I was talking about them trying to push our good sister Harriet Tubman, Sojourner Truth, into the feminist light. And that is why I took time to explain, listen, you got to be careful with words. You know, people just take a word and think it applies to this like it applied to that. It's not necessary. There's nothing wrong with being a strong woman. There's nothing wrong with being a strong woman. That don't mean you're feminist. Now come with them foolish talk here, trying to make Ya Asante Wa look like a feminist and tell me and Nzinga was a feminist. Who is you? Where you get that? Nah, man, this ain't them Planned Parenthood scheme coming out of the civil rights time era to try to mix up black people now because they're fighting for their rights, and now they separate the woman from the man and try to put the black woman now into a whole different category and just change the whole thing altogether. Flip the script on us. It's not gonna work. At least not here. So we're not into that. That is the work of the demon. To turn the black woman against the black man and to destroy the family. So the goddess Isis, I said pardon me for the language, but you know. So the goddess Isis now, if she was like them woman today that the wicked has created, when Asar was cut into 13 pieces, she would have said that no good bastard. I knew he wasn't good at all. I knew he wasn't, he couldn't do nothing right. But Isis, Asep, went looking not for the dead body in the man. She went all over the country, picking up piece number 1, picking up piece number 2. Asep picked up an arm here. She picked up a leg over here. She picked up another leg over here. She found the other arm over there. She found the head over there. And she put Allah back together again. All the king's horses and all the king's men couldn't do nothing. It was Aset, the woman, the sister, the Mary Magdalene, the Salome, that took care of the Messiah even though he was dead. Anointed him with oil, dead. Brought spices to his tomb, dead. Clean linen for the dead. That's the nature of a woman. That's the nature of a real woman. And all them women is real woman. They're real woman. They're not ladybugs. They're human beings. But indoctrination is a terrible thing. Psychological homicide is a terrible thing. The school system, I am telling you, that's worse than the church. A terrible thing. One of the next programs I'm going to do, I didn't really want to but I'm going to say a little thing about it. I came across a video just the other day, and that video had me really like, wow. Wow. And it was our brothers from up in Harlem doing an exercise where they had pictures of Marcus Garvey, Caesar Borgia, who people refer to as Jesus Christ, the picture. Whether you believe in Jesus or not, the picture is Caesar Borgia, painted by Michelangelo. They had a picture of Marcus Garvey, this Jesus character, and a picture of Malcolm X. And these brothers asked scores of people, which one of them is the most influential person in your life? And I'm telling you, 99% of the people, I think it's more than that, not only just chose the Jesus figure, but some of them wanted to fight Africans, people from Mali, South Africa, Sudan, all kind of places. Jesus. I said, what is this? A picture, you know. You had 2 Kodak moments on the wall plus an artist rendition from hundreds of years ago. And everybody was picking the artist rendition. A pale Jesus, everything. Whether it was black people, white people, because they asked a cross-section of people and everybody, Jesus. Man, that hurt my heart. I watching this, I said, wait, what's going on here? I mean, I know, but I said, look at this. Wow. Young children, young girls, beautiful young boys. 13 and 15. Which one do you choose? I choose Jesus. Why you choose Jesus? Well, he's my God. I said, man, wow. Mercy me. When we were in slavery, we wouldn't choose Jesus. Now we out of slavery, we choosing Jesus. Which one is the slavery? Which one is the real slavery? Pardon me, man. Listen, you gotta pardon me sometime, You gotta really pardon me, because this ain't no joke to me. This is my life, eh? I know some of you, I don't know what you think about me, man, but this is my life. I'm so sorry for that a moment ago. This is my life. I know sometimes I may seem a little passionate, a little into this because I'm into it. I would kill for this, man. I'm ready for this. I'm ready for this. And you know me, my children, man, I tell my children even, I say, hey, we don't fight, I teach them to fight. I teach them to fight, but they don't fight. You think anybody could be telling, hey, your son or your daughter out there fighting with her? Fighting? What are you fighting for? What are you fighting for? As you know, I'm sure you've heard me mention it, I don't really believe in people beating children. I see some youths do some things that they need some real shaking up, but if that relationship was there from the beginning, you don't really have to put your hand on a child. So I don't believe in the hitting. I'm totally against any man knocking any woman. You understand? So the point I'm making is, although I may sound so, is because I teach my children that if you see your father fighting with anybody, just know either, well, let me not say either, because someone told me you shouldn't say either. But I usually say either me or the person is going to die. Because that's what I see fighting for. That's how I see fighting. You fight to save life. And usually to save life, you got to take life. So for me, it's like playing a video game. I have a lot of them bonus, ammunition stored up. I don't use it just like that. But I'm telling you, I am armored and ready to do whatever got to be done for righteousness' sake. Let's just put it that way then. And if you don't have a heart like you're ready, people say they're ready to die. Well, ready to die? Why not ready to kill? for righteousness' sake. Look how they have our little babies. Little children. Where did this indoctrination, purposeful indoctrination come from? That's how I know personally. I watching this, I said, look at that. All these people. Wow, they can't be listening to me. Even the brothers that were doing the interview, I said, they can't be listening to them. And the people that chose Malcolm X or Marcus Garvey, the very few of them were people that listened to them. So that hardly counts. So that shows me that we got a lot of work to do. And you, the listeners, you see you? Let me tell you something. You are another set of people too. Don't be playing with me. Don't be playing with me. You see, all you listeners, let me talk now. You ain't saying nothing. If you're not on this bandwagon here, you're wasting time. Some of you just sit down and take this information for yourself. You don't even pass it on to another. Hey, I ain't playing around. This is life and death. This is like they kill people for this. This is, I think it's just because it's too many of us. What? It is too many of us. There's a lot of us doing this, you know. You think I think it's me? There's a lot of us, sometimes I come on the air, and what do? Pardon me. Yeah. Sometimes I come and I present something from someone that, you know, has another angle to the situation, because there are many people speaking. There are many people singing. Poets, writers, photographers. Some of you out there with your little cellular phone, every little thing you see, you take a picture and you send it into the news organizations. Some of you doing some real good works. They can't stop all of us. But the thing is, they stop some of us. And sometimes when they gun down a little boy or they gun down a little girl, you don't even know that little girl or that little boy was working the Instagram, working the Twitter, working their YouTube, working their Facebook. They may not be, you know, international lecturers, but they're doing something. You gotta give them their props, even if we don't even know who they are. But the enemy watching. And the enemy say, okay, no, don't trouble this one yet. We don't want to start no riot over here. You think they don't know that? But what? There's some of us now that I'm coming down on. I ain't playing with none of you. You need to get up and come and assist this work here. Some of you don't even share a video. You think I'm playing around? Some of the works that go into, share it. Not just my stuff. Share anything you see. Share. Let other people see it. People need help. People need help. That's why I'm going to be utilizing that same video that I was telling you about in an upcoming program when they're choosing all the Jesus stuff, and so you could hear for yourself. Those of you who are listening to radio, so you could hear for yourself. And I am going to direct you to the video on the YouTube so you could see it for yourself, because I want you to understand the psychological state of us as a people. Share. Some of us, we take time to put videos together. So even if you're sitting back and you're watching the ball game, when your notification comes on, if you hear my voice going far, I actually sat back, you know. Sometimes I do a lot of acting when I talk, so I do what I say. So I sat back, I literally sat back as if I'm watching a ball game with the remote in my hand clicking. So some of you, even though you're sitting back watching the Bulls taking on the Knicks and you're watching the game and your notification comes on YouTube, because your notification should be on, you know. This ain't no joke. Bleep, bleep. Priest Isaac has a new video. Okay. You go, you sit down, first of all, you press the like button, because I ain't got no foolishness to say. I may be showing you something that I myself don't like, but that's not what you're supposed to dislike, press the like button. Yeah. And then share it with somebody, even if you didn't watch it yet. You're not supposed to watch it and say, wow, I like this. No, share it, man. Yeah. And let the world see. Spread it. Spread any good information. Spread it. People send me information all the time. Give thanks. It sharpens my sword to spread more. So we got to step up our game, man. Trust me. And ones need to support as well. Not me personally, not because we don't ask for the donations, which we don't. And I honestly think that we have enough products that those who say that they love the work can patronize more. They can. So to me, when you don't patronize, we have books, we have DVD documentaries that are not on the YouTube. We have our service. You could fly us from where we are to where you are to give lectures. Yeah, what are you talking about? You could come to us for the services too. What are you talking about? But yeah, we spend our money on other things. Remember, you're middle class, you know. We spend our money on so many other things except the things that would rise our standard. Do you think, whatever standard you think I am on, because people feel like, wow, you're so big. Well, I'm big, of course. I'm bigger than you think, for sure. I'm much bigger than you think. You know, but but whatever you may be thinking of, according to your perspective of big, how do you think I got quote unquote big? I had to put into it. I had to invest. Some people make some cheap remarks about selling this and selling that. Boy, you look, don't get to me now. Selling what and selling what? What are you talking about? What we've put into this is way beyond what have ever come out of this, my Lord. Don't play around with me. This doesn't feed him. This don't pay Mr. Bill. This don't house and this don't drive. Trust me. So just be careful. This is a life work. And even if it did, that's not worth what we're putting in. This is our soul and our spirit. And I'm not speaking for me alone. So those on the receiving end, step up your game. I'm going to say it again. You don't like me? You know I don't care. Those on the receiving end, step up your game. The black woman black woman. Will go and seek out her Messiah, her husband. She will go and seek out her king. Although she was present when he was crucified. And she knows why he died. She knows why he's on drugs. She knows why he is a homosexual. She knows why he's jobless. She knows why he's a bum. She knows why he's in jail. She knows why he doesn't take responsibility seriously. And I've gone to the extreme And I've gone to the extreme. But the point is, even if he's not that bad, whatever aspects in him that could be straightened out and she has the ability to do it, she will put him back together. Now, everybody goes through different things in life. And I know a lot of people have their baby mama drama. Listen, our woman, she is a hurt woman. We got to keep in mind that the vast majority of sisters that you see have been abused, man. Oh, come on. The vast majority of sisters that you see have been abused. Sexually abused too. I mean, to me, a lot of them women or sisters are very strong to can still maintain a relationship. Yeah, man. To can still deal with a husband after going through that. I know brothers that get knuckle. You know what you call knuckle? That's when your woman leave you for a next man. I know brothers that get knuckle. And because of that, they turn extremely sour against all women. They even go to the point where they start to abuse and use women. Rather worse if you catch the woman in the knuckling act. Oh, that's a totally different thing altogether. They go crazy. Sisters go crazy too, you know. But not, well, I'm talking of the culture I'm from. Not like the brothers. So, if that can make you turn against a woman just because one woman left you for another man, and in some cases, a woman would leave a man and she didn't leave him for nobody, and you just vexed with woman now, you just upset with woman. So how do you think a woman feel now when she was raped several times by her uncle? Wow. And she still have a husband. She may give the husband a little hard time, but she's still open to him. He can still get comfort from her. He can still get strong feminine advice from her. He can still come home, as they say, to a hot meal, you know. She would even still pleasure him as a woman can pleasure a man. And many sisters are going through this. After going through that, you know, think them they deserve some sort of award. So I honestly believe that although, you know, as I was saying in the previous program, if the absence of a father, especially in the life, well, in the life of both male and female, you know, but the absence of a man in the life of his son, ooh, that's a heavy thing, man. Doesn't mean he's going to be the worst thing in the world, but it's just a heavy thing. And as dread as that is, I think the absence of the mother, it will sound strange to some, is an equally dread thing. And I'll tell you why. Not just the nurturing love of a mother. Of course, all of that is very key. And you know, some will tell you that, oh, when the baby falls, daddy will say, oh, come on, get up. And mommy will say, oh, where did it hurt and all of that. Yeah, sometimes you see that. Sometimes it's flipped the other way too. But as a person that was raised by their mother and father, that's me, for sure, there's obviously certain principles that you get from a woman. And even my sister, growing up with my sister and mother as well, in that household environment, I see her kind of expressing. And you see, as you know, I'm not ashamed to express myself to listeners. I don't even know who's listening to me. Obviously, I know how far to go. I ain't going to tell you and bring you into my business. But, you know, if you're going to explain something, you got to explain something. People got to see where you're coming from. Because I'm not talking of what I don't know. There's certain values that you pick up as a man from a woman. I'm not saying that a man is not clean. In fact, when I say clean, I mean clean like keep a house, because a woman knows how to keep a house. But that doesn't mean a man shouldn't know how to keep a house. That's why you have brothers that can keep house, because they get that strength from growing up with their mother, and they had a strong mother. So they had to wash the dishes, just like their sister. They had to clean the bathroom, just like their sister. They had to wash clothes with their hands, just like their sister. And again, that doesn't mean their father was absent. It's wonderful that the child can learn all of this. That's a well-balanced man. Some brothers can't even cook. That's a shame. That's a well-balanced man. So I'm just trying to show you, even in the cases where one would think that they, or understand, pardon me, the value of a sister or a wife, even if now the man and the woman may not find themselves together anymore, you as the man, I'm talking to the man now, I'm not talking as such to the woman in that sense, you are supposed to be able to reflect on the value of that same woman. You understand? But now we live in a society as, because of that separation, where that alone now, that's another thing altogether. That's another thing altogether. I always like to highlight that there's certain animals, parrots, orangutans, is it orangutans? Or the gibbons, the law gibbons. They mate for life. They have certain animals that mate for life. Can you imagine that? No matter what, these animals, they don't separate from each other. But yet still now, as I was saying, I think in the same program I was hinting about for the last hour now, that when you check the stats, the divorce rate is so high amongst people in general, the divorce rate. I even made a little funny that in some states and some places in the earth, the divorce rate is higher than the marriage rate, which obviously that ain't making no sense, but you got to figure it out somehow. But that's just an extreme expression to show you how far off we are out of nature. Now listen, I'm not saying that we are parrots, and I'm not saying that we are orangutans, the gibbons. And maybe the orangutan practice that too, you know. Some animals have more than one mate. Animals are not the same. Some animals, they hit and run. Some animals, after they mate, the woman eat up the man. So don't get me wrong, I'm not losing my head. I'm just showing you that in nature, there's certain animals that have a principle that when they come together, they don't separate. Now, I'm not saying, you know, that as human beings, because we're not animals, and even if you think we're the intelligent animal, okay, well, we're not that type of animal there. So obviously, we have a different level, I honestly think, of understanding. And I don't see nothing wrong if there is a combination a coming together of a man and a woman, and somewhere down the line, whether it be a year down the line or 10 years down the line, that for whatever reason, I can't bring up no whole heap of choices here now, because I'll leave out something. For whatever reason, whatever it may be, that he decides that, listen, I don't think we should take a next step. Or she decides that, listen, I don't think we should take a next step. Or they decide that, hey, I think we should hold brakes right here. I don't see nothing wrong with that. What I am saying is that our enemy again now, for those who forgot this is a war, the one on the other side, this is chess we playing, man. The enemy has, again, in his and her craft, whether it be through media, storybook, school, church, philosophy, culture, behavior, indoctrination of all sorts and all kinds, even down to their video games, their toys, magazine, and these killers know how to do it. They have disrupted now the fabric and the foundation of the family structure, the fabric and the foundation even of love. So now this sacred thing, such as a family structure, has lost its value so much in society to the point that it means nothing. There was a time, I think it's the Roman Catholic Church, I think they still keep up that they don't promote divorce. It's like a sin to divorce, you know. You're not supposed to divorce. But even in the Bible, divorce is not something that, you know, the Almighty promotes. Unless, and there's an unless. So this is why I said now that in reality, that I don't see nothing wrong if a couple decides after a specific period of time, for whatever reason, that it is not healthy for them to continue this train ride. Who am I as an outsider to say? But I'm saying that's an honest, you know, mature decision that two people make. Again, for whatever reason, man, it could be so many different things. But that's not what's happening today. That's not what's going on today. So our nature may not be the nature of the lawgiver. It may not be the nature of the parrot to mate for life. But it's a nature of intelligence. It's not the nature that has been injected into our brain today. That's what I'm saying. Oh, come on, man. We live in a culture where by the age of 25, a woman doesn't have 10 boyfriends. Are you serious? And when I say boyfriends, I don't mean boyfriends, you know, man. Okay. That sounds like something sensible to you? That sounds right? Even a man and some of you are gun-ho. Even a man. Because in my book, I don't know, well, you may say I'm queer, that's just you. I don't care what you think. But to me, even a man. I mean, come on. Judge men. Every man might different, but me personally, I don't see no great pleasure in running through no woman. And then I run into a woman. And then I go through the next woman. But as a man now, as brothers, we have been taught to have that as a trophy. Man, if you could have chopped the woman head off and have it on the wall like the reindeer and the antelope that they kill, you would do that. That's how sick we have gone now. Sad. So this is some deep stuff. This is some deep and heavy stuff. But even in these cases, not the heads on the wall, even in the cases where an individual has been with a woman or even several sisters, you're supposed to be able to sit down and retract in your mind what value you received from them. Listen to me, listen to me. Some of us as brothers, you know, we have passed through 4, 5, 6, serious relationships from the time we were coming out of school or maybe in school. And when I say serious relationships, something that lasts a little over 3 months. Yeah, no, I'm being real. Before you came to a mature level, even in them levels there, even on that level there, you're supposed to be able to see what value you received from the sister. And if you take your time and look into it, you will respect some of these sisters that you have been around, some of them that you curse, some of them that you put down, some of them have children for you. Yeah, man. I honestly believe in my heart that even if a woman has 10% of her true nature, she will add and help to build the man that she's with. Even if she don't know what she's doing. Even if she do it in a unprofessional way. And then he now don't even know how to receive it. He don't know how to receive it if she did it in a professional way. If she did it nice, honey baby, oh sweetheart, let me share something. I don't want to hear that. He can't even take that. Much less if she came in and said, you always have socks on the ground. Or rather worse, woman don't make no noise with me and all of that. So, you know, it don't go no, but she's building you. Because you always have your socks on the ground. What kind of thing is that, hubby? You know your mother never had raised you to have no socks on the ground. She always said, Leroy, your room needs to clean up. I remember a time my mother went away. I can't remember where she went, but wherever she went, she came back. When she came back now, it was like for maybe a week or two, New York or somewhere, business, you know. So when she came back now, she brought me a few gifts, and one of the gifts she brought me was like a poster that I was supposed to stick on the wall. And it was like a ready-made poster with my name on it. Like, this is his room. So, you know, I guess wherever she got it from, you had a poster like, this is Fred's room, this is, you know, Joseph's room, this is Tony's room, this is Floyd's room. So she got one with my name on it. And there were rules for my room. And the rules were, I wake up when I want to, I put my clothes where I want to. And they had a few pictures, you know, it's just like a rebellious kind of thing. And she just saw it and thought I would like it, and I hung it up. And at that age, and maybe I was 11, and I was looking at that, and I said, but this ain't my mother. I could never have my room like this. All of what I read in there, I could never, ever leave food on the ground. You see some chicken bone or something on the ground, and a pussycat sleeping in the bed, and I wake up when I feel. I never got that luxury there. Never. So I was thinking in myself, even at that age, why would mommy buy this for me when she don't promote nothing like this? And I still hung it on the door. You know, I was just going with the flow of the system, because that's what she was doing too, you know. She was just going with the flow of the system. That's how the system is well crafted. A disciplined woman like my mother, a teacher she is, you know. A disciplined woman like my mother picking up that for me because she's overseas and she just want to, you know, buy something for her little son and, you know, buy a few little trinkets, something that I would appreciate. Of course, I am very thankful. And I appreciated it, that's why I hung it up. But even at that age, I knew that wasn't her at all. And she never turned into that, even at her dying day. So that was just something. But the point I'm bringing up is that she never taught me that. She taught me to be spick and span, to be clean and sharp, to be up full and sharp. You understand? So I want got to give enough respect to their mother, their sisters, their wives, even some of your friends as a woman, because that is how I began the program. The mother Isis, she will always go out of her way. She will always go out of her way to make sure that she bring the dead king back together. And remember, the ISIS today is lost, you know, man. But yet still, even if she have a spark of that nature in her, she will do her best, even if she don't know how she's doing it or even what she's doing. But if she's with you, and even if she's not with you, she would try her best to help you, to reach out to you, naturally. So that's why even in the ancient kingdom, you get this concept of the king sitting down and all the women around him and fanning him and feeding him grapes. It's not as sick and as lustful as it's portrayed today. And it may sound strange, but they're not always his wives. Some of them are his, let's call it, just for conversation's sake, adopted daughters. Because again, that's the nature of a man. The man knows that's his nature, to take care of the woman. Not to use her, not because, but today now, oh man, today is so sick. Today it is so sick. It is so sick today that a man would take care of a woman and her children and take sexual pleasure as payment, and it's actually seen as a proper exchange. I mean, that's hurtful. That is disgusting. Mercy. I wish, well, not wish, I don't wish, I pray. But you know what I mean? I look forward to the day when I will be feeding multiple households that need the strength. Yeah, multiple. Without anything clear like that even nowhere in my mind. That's disgusting. You know? So it's from the anciency. The king understands, you know what I mean? That's his daughters he bringing up. And although they may not be his daughters, they're good enough as his daughters, because only the best of soldiers could get them daughters here, if you want to use them kind of terms. We're talking a kingdom building, man. I know I'm going on, but I'm just talking to you. I'm talking of kingdom building. You see. So when we are in our nature, we know how to deal with one another. That's what I'm saying. The woman naturally puts the man together. And brothers, when you see a woman trying to put you together, make her put you together. Don't worry, make her put you together. Make her come and clean your toes. If she said, come, let me wash your toes, leave her alone. If she says, man, you need, just listen to what she said. Don't be ashamed. If she said, you know, you need to, just a little bit. I'm not saying that. Listen to her. You already have her talking in a way like as if she don't want to offend you. Don't get me wrong. Don't get me wrong. Well, just tell me what you got to say. You know? And as I said, some of them going to come real forceful. Weird. You expect to leave here with that? You better go and put on something else. Who are you talking to, me? You're not my mother. But behind of all of that, it's somebody trying to build you up. I'm not saying she should talk to you like that, because I myself would say, hey, listen, I understand you're trying to help me. I mean, to be honest, I don't know how we could reach that far, but if it does, I'm going to say, hey, listen, hold on. I understand that you love me and you're trying your best to help me. But let us be careful of how we do this, eh? Let us be careful. Words are, you know what I mean, and tones and vibration. We just came out of a Zen meditation a moment ago. You understand the vibration. So when yoga and Tai Chi is applied, you don't expect certain results. You know, but then again, that's why the foundation is important. The structure is important. You build from the bottom up, you know. This ain't graves we digging from the top down. We build from the bottom up like a plant. You grow. You understand? That's why when sometimes people ask me, if you were in this situation here, what would you do? Sometimes that's hard to answer, because I say, but wait, if I was in that situation there, I know for sure I wouldn't even be in that situation there. It takes steps to get in that situation there, and them steps I wouldn't even take. So to ask me if I was in that situation there, I would never get in that situation there, for sure. So find another way to ask me the question. You know what I'm saying? So that's what I'm trying to show you. Don't get into that situation there. That's why we have to be truthful too. Never pretend to be who you're not, because you put yourself in problems. Never try to be more than you are. You put yourself in problems. Just be who you are. At least they know that this is who you are. So just dealing with the respect, Sisters, you got the power to put the man back together, Trust me. And this is the lesson I got from our ancient allegory. You can put us back together. We need each other as a family unit and as a nation. The brothers need the sisters here. I think for too long we've been separate. I see that in organizations and in general, just separate. I don't mean boys' school, girls' school. You could have an academy for boys and an academy for girls, in a culture that understands we're all one. Listen to me. In a culture that understands that we are all one. Because in my book, to be honest, there are times where male and female got to be separate. Of course. In a culture that understands the core value of spiritual and soul vibes, that we are one. You understand? Very much so. So brothers, see the value of the sisters too. And that they put you together and make you. My mother, as I said, my sisters, the mother of my children, is a very, very, very key person in my life, even up to now. And I could never, ever, ever look and say to anyone that she has not built me to be who I am today as well. So I have builders, whatever the case may be. Even if, as I said, the individuals may not be together anymore, that don't mean nothing. You have to respect and know the value of those that have built you, those that have put you together again. And that is exactly the nature of the woman. Brothers, I know some of you are ras, Some of you are conscious too. Some of you are of different persuasions. And I know that you're strong in the faith. But because of the child that you have with a woman that may not be of the same persuasion as you, because of such you do not have that leverage of the child that maybe you would want. And to be very honest, it's not your child. The child belongs to you and the other person in reality, So to be honest, that's why I said you got to make wise decisions. No disrespect to no one, but you got to make wise decisions. But what I'm saying is, the point I'm making is, even if a person is not of your persuasion, you're supposed to still see the value within them. And the reason why I'm sticking on this value thing is because I honestly believe if we can see the value in each other, we tend to look at the wrong. We tend to look at the things we don't like, especially if we're religious. Oh, well, it's gone overboard. We tend to look at what disgusts us. And then we even dwell on the past, things that have come to an end and the chapter is closed. And we're still lamenting on the bad old days, when there were so many good old days. When you have reached thus far because of thus instruction, because of thus teachings, because of thus encouragement. That's what I'm saying. And it is the ISIS within all of our sisters, my brothers. Please listen to me. There is an ISIS in all of our sisters that has the ability to bring us as a group and as individual brothers together again. And I, in my humble opinion, believe that even the sisters that we think, well, not me, but most think hood rats and tramps and all kind of weird names we call them, even they still have femininity in them. And I will repeat it one more time. Even though they may be crude sometimes, they have not been taught, they may not be as diplomatic as you think they should be, and they're not even aware of what good deed they are attempting to do. Them same women, sisters, daughters, have the ability, like the ISIS that is inside of them, to go all over this kingdom and find the scattered pieces of us, the brothers, and they can bring us back together again. Anytime you see me pass an hour in my speech, I'm saying something that is very, very, very close to my heart. Holy Emmanuel, blessed love to everyone. Let me ask you a question now. Do you have a copy of our digital electronic book, The True Biblical Land of Israel? Now, if you do not have a copy of the True Biblical Land of Israel, to get a copy of the True Biblical Land of Israel, all you have to do is email us, priestisaac27@gmail.com. This is the book that was once a theological paper. This is the book that we have issued the challenge on. That challenge being, if anyone can dispute and refute our facts, that according to the biblical description, the geography of the Bible, according to the information coming out of that specific book, the biblical land of Israel, again, described in the Bible, is Africa plus Arabia. And as I said, within the pages of the book, The True Biblical Land of Israel, we give the facts, we give all the references as it relates to the narrative of the Bible. And of course, we still bring in some archaeology and anthropology. But of course, the core of the discussion is coming from the scriptures. So this is why the book, The True Biblical Land of Israel, is not a book to try to validate the Bible. It is a book that proves that according to the Bible, whatever the origin is, or wherever it came from, or whoever originally wrote it, that's not the point. The point that according to this well-respected book, the Bible, the land of Israel is Africa plus Arabia. So as I said, our ebook, all you have to do is email us and we ship it to you through the email. You find it in your inbox right away. And of course, your payments can be made right away as well, as we utilize the PayPal, and the PayPal is the same as our email, priestisaac27@gmail.com. And let me just say as well, for a very limited time, and we'll tell you when the time has met its limit, we will be offering the book Anu, Ancient and Modern, with the biblical land of Israel. Listen to me good. So when you buy or purchase the biblical land of Israel, we would give you a free copy of the book Anu. Now the value of both is $20 each United States currency. So you'll be literally getting a $40 value for just purchasing the biblical land of Israel. And the same goes for Anu. When you purchase the book Anu, Ancient and Modern, we will give you a free copy of the True Biblical Land of Israel. And listen to me, I'm not done yet. And when you purchase them both, you would get a free copy again. When you purchase them both now, you're buying the two of them. we give you a free copy of The Night of the Black Tiger, which is not a book, at least it's not in book form as yet, but it is our more recent DVD video documentary, The Night of the Black Tiger, the divinity of Marcus Mosiah Garvey. And I can go on and on because we have so many other things to offer. And the point really is, once you shop with us, we always have some gift to give you. That's really the point. So as I said, the true biblical land of Israel. As I said, this is the book that is the challenge that has gone out, where we have just one university at the moment that has even responded to the challenge. So that means that there must be something in the book that cannot be denied. You need to get your copy of the book. And as I said, payments can be made through the PayPal as well. So I'm looking forward to hearing from you. Blessed love. Now, this is what I want you to do. For all those who are not subscribers to the Shock of the Hour, I need you to email me at priestisaac27@gmail.com. Because for a limited time only, I will be offering, listen to this, 2 free weeks of the Shock of the Hour. So if you're not a subscriber to the Shock, of course you've listened to the Shock. But if you're not receiving the Shock of the Hour every evening in your inbox via the email, then you need to contact me and say, Priest Isaac, I would like to get the 2-week subscription. That is the free subscription for the Shock of the Hour. And we will send you, email you each and every evening after the Shock of the Hour, that episode specifically that was recorded. Remember, the Shock of the Hour is a program that comes to you every evening. I'm talking about Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. And of course, as I said, after the program, you get the recording of the program in your inbox, in your email the next day. That is the Shock of the Hour. And of course, it is a monthly subscription of only $50 United States currency. But I am offering you for a limited time 2 weeks subscription free of cost for the Shock of the Hour. And of course, after the 2 strongs or 2 weeks as they call it is expired, it is up to you if you'd like to continue with the Shock of the Hour subscription. So to get 2 whole strongs, 2 whole weeks specifically as they call it, of the Shock of the Hour free, no charge whatsoever, and you can full enjoy the nightly program that you ain't gonna hear on YouTube and you're not gonna get on Facebook, just definitely contact us. Priest Isaac, PRIESTISAAC 27@gmail.com. Blessed love.
Alafia to each and every one. Salamta and blessed love. Honorable Priest Isaac here. It is with great joy that I am happy to announce to you that I have officially released my first ebook, Anno Ancient and Modern Revisited. This is the continuation process of our easy-to-read books. Within the pages of Anno Ancient and Modern Revisited, we take the time to show you the spiritual connection with the island of Antigua and Heliopolis in Kemet in Egypt, with the island of Antigua and the legendary continent of Atlantis. We also highlight Green Castle Hill, also known as Mount Anu, which is known as the Stonehenge of the Caribbean, with the countless of megaliths that align with the movement of the heavens. This is a must-read for all those who are students of the esoteric realms, astronomy, geology, and ancient sites. Of course, to get a copy of your book, all you have to do is to contact us at area code 1268-728-3162. Call, text, or even WhatsApp. Or you can email us at priestisaac27@gmail.com to get a copy of your ebook and Ancient and Modern. It is an easy to read book, may appear light, but it is extremely heavy.